guest.
Thank you very much, Gabe Pruitt. Yes, another special guest. We've had plenty so far today. We've got one of the top owners in the business here, Mr. Bill Donovan, who operates out of Delray Beach, Florida. Bill, you've campaigned a whole lot of champions like You Are My Candy Girl. We'll get to her and one of your other favorites in just a minute. But let me just say congratulations. You got a check just a couple of races ago with Hen Party, where your horse was odds of 40 or 50 to 1.
Yes, Ronnie's done a great job with her. He was, I think, anxious to get her on the mile track, stretch her out a bit. So obviously very pleased with her performance today.
Was a good drive by Matt Kikali there. He saved ground with her and then moved to the flow and angled her out. And she finished as good as the as the leaders.
She did. So it'll be exciting to watch her come back again next week.
Looking forward to that. Now, let's get a little bit of your background here. You grew up in Boston, and you first went to the racetrack with neighbors. So what excited you about harness racing and then Foxborough up there, and what hooked you into the sport?
Well, when I first went there, they had horses, so I had the opportunity to jog a horse. I was all of 12 years old, and for a 12-year-old kid, there's nothing more fun than getting behind a horse and jogging it on the track. So I would go down with them any opportunity that I had, and I just loved being around the horses.
That sounds a little bit like me. I think I jogged my first one at age 15 over the Meadowlands Strip or whatever, and then I went on to be an assistant trainer and a groom, and you did as well. You worked at Vernon Downs for a couple of guys for a couple of years.
Yes, I was two summers at Vernon Downs with Wally Ross. I was working for him when he had Yankee Bambino, who fought, I think, the greatest battle ever of any Hamiltonian. It was a tough loss when they finished second, but Wally's a great horseman, and it was a great opportunity to work for him as well and learn different things from him that to this day still help me.
So you know exactly how hard these horsemen and women work. Explain it to the people out there who only show up at the track and buy a program.
Oh, I don't know that I could explain it. It's so difficult. I've been involved in many other industries over the years, and I have never seen anyone work as hard as the horse people do. The hours themselves, and the commitment that you have to have in order to put your heart and soul into your work, and they all do it, and it's a labor of love for sure.
I think that's a great way to put it, heart and soul. Let's switch over to owning horses here. You didn't own too many at the beginning when you were working at Vernon Downs, but you bought your first horse for just $1,500. Tell us that story.
Yeah, that was big money to us back then. Myself and three of my buddies got together and decided to get a horse. Martin's Dream was his name back at the old Rockingham Park in Salem, New Hampshire. That was back in the early 80s. Unfortunately, Martin never hit the winner's circle, but I had the owner bug from then on.
Let's talk about a couple that you paid a little bit more for, beginning with your most recent champion, You Are My Candy Girl. She's been something special for you. That has to have been quite a ride.
Yes, she has. Her 2-year-old, she was just phenomenal last year. She was battling Kissin' in the Sand, who was the dominant filly last year. And, Candy Girl has had issues tying up, and that's been a big problem with her. I had talked with Ronnie about a month and a half ago to try to get a plan for her with her fall races. And unfortunately, Ronnie doesn't maintain a stable operation of his own in Canada, so we discussed it, and I made the decision to send her up to Richard Moreau, where she had 2 phenomenal races, and then sure enough, her start last week here again, she tied up again, and it's back to the drawing board. It just is a never-ending battle with her in that regard.
A few years before her, you had the great Maven, and you picked her out as a yearling. So give us a little idea about what your secret is. How do you pick out these champions?
Do you think I'm like the guru? I'm gonna share my secrets.
Give us a little secret. Come on, tell us what you look for when you're at that sale next week.
The page is primary in my book. You look at the page, and I look at the maternal family, and that's where I start. And from there, I look at the stallions, and from there, I look at the videos, and then I look at the individuals. And I think with the individuals, you have to be a lot more forgiving than many trainers are. And Maven, God love her, she was a $37,000 yearling, so she was not perfect. But you know, she showed something to me, and that's why I bought her.
All right, before we let you go, I know you've got a very big connection to Ireland. You love what you see there, and they're very passionate about their harness racing in Ireland.
They are. You know, it's a tough situation over there because they don't have pari-mutuel wagering, so they're not really racing for any significant sums. The Delaney brothers have done an outstanding job in their efforts in Dublin, and I've been working with my friends out in West Cork to try to help them. So it's a battle.
All right, it's a battle, but certainly one that you enjoy doing. Listen, I want to say thank you for coming over and chatting with us again. I've been watching that Rebel Rouser and Reclamation that you have racing on the East Coast. Good luck with them the rest of the year, and good luck the rest of the meet, and I hope you come away with a couple of good yearlings at the sale next week.
Thanks very much, Dave. I appreciate it. Thanks
All
for
right,
the opportunity.
Bill Donovan, ladies and gentlemen. There are the wings of the starting gate open here for this division of the Bluegrass. So once again, up to Mr. Pruitt. The air and good